Shatner's log, air date unknown. The impossible has happened. It would take days to recount the events I've witnessed, so settle in.
Come on, guys. Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. Again.
It's the future, baby.
What if I do something different?
Then I don't know that.
I'm not a prophet. What the fuck is shoegaze? What the fuck is pizzacore?
It's amazing the way you notice two things.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
My God, he's become evil. I mean, eviler.
He's part of the Illuminati.
You're joking, right? That's not funny!
Ugh. It's like a party in my mouth and everyone's throwing up.
Welcome to the fucking party.
Who are you, and why should I care?
This is TOTKORadio.
I hate you! I hate you all!
Alright, let's go ahead and try to start this up again, because it seems like the site is somehow working. We're going to go ahead and look at that word, that onomatopoeia that I just uttered, the word I need to stop doing that, because it's retarded. It makes me sound stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm not. Just because I'm telling you doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but I'm not. Granted, I guess I'd have to prove that. I'm not going to abstain from posting with text, but I will do as little as possible this time around. I'm kind of trying to experiment with certain facets of the show, whatnot, and I'm trying to add and take away and so on and so forth. If I feel that text is useful for whatever reason, other than, linking the Vakaroo and other bullshit, then I'll do it. If I feel like I can answer via voice, I'll do it. If text is better, then I'll do that too. And I just remembered something. I'm also going to try to keep these segments about 5 minutes at the most. Some of them are pretty damn long. But that's not to say that I'm only going to stay at 5 minutes. I might get less, I might go more. It just depends on the context of what it is I'm talking about. And as usual, as long as you instigate, as long as you say something other than, hey, that was cool, ooh, or, oh, hey, I agree, this isn't a closed-ended question. It's like, it's not like, what's your favorite color? Blue. Well, hell, you can say, what's your favorite color? Well, that really depends on so many things, and rattle off a laundry list of crap. That's fine. A little more interaction from whomever will make this a lot better for all of us, and potentially anybody who's new. In a way, you're helping me, and I thank you for it if you do. If you're not helping me, well, that doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to like you. I'm just going to do my best to be neutral. So, anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions? Oh, before I post, I forgot. I'm also going to limit, not remove, not significantly reduce, just limit myself to, limit the vulgarity. I like to swear a lot. But unfortunately, after having listened to my last 3 shows repeatedly, I realized that it somewhat detracts from a lot of what I'm trying to say. Same with the ums and the uhs and all that. So, I'm going to try to sort of maintain focus. Oh, and I just happen to be on ADD meds today, too. I'm going to go ahead and comment on my intro there. It was kind of fun making that. The majority of the time spent on that was actually the accrual of all the sound bites, whether it was the music that I had already had stored in my computer for fucking millennia, or if it was I think it was Sunday, when I was on this one website, and it's got all these Futurama sounds. I love Futurama. Futurama's awesome. I don't watch it nearly as often as I used to. I own all the DVDs. It's a fun show, and I knew that there was going to be pieces of it that were awesome, and I felt that I needed to have an intro because, you know, there have been some constructive criticism. Perhaps they were a little misguided in their attempts, but I'm capable of seeing through that after looking into it and sort of reconciling that it's not really a personal attack. Most people on here who throw out personal attacks really aren't actually attacking you. They're just being a non, or they're just being their trip bag self, or whatever. I'm also going to attempt to reduce to 0, if at all possible, by whatever time frame, the amount of channery that I mentioned. Because I'd like this to be, although it is on 4chan, I'd like it to be potentially repeatable to other audiences without necessarily referencing where we're at. In any sense, whether it's ambiguous or specific, it doesn't matter. Getting back to the intro, it took about, I think, 30 minutes to do the whole thing. After I accrued all the data, I was like, okay, open up the program. What do I want to do? Hey, let's throw in some fucking Gaga. Why not? But that Shatner thing was brilliant too. I don't care what anybody says. I thought that was great because if you listen, he's not specific about anything, and it's perfect. The time, what he's talking about, it is so blatantly ambiguous. It could be used for so many things. And I got the idea, obviously, from radio spots. I figured, well, if I'm going to pretend, for the time being, to be some sort of radio DJ dumbass, then I might as well pretend for real, if you will. So, that's that. And the funny thing, I didn't even realize this until after the fact. I took all of my vocalizations, my words, and I put them in there first. Well, after the Shatner thing and after the music, I wanted those particular pieces of music because I felt that they contrasted enough. And I put my vocals in, I put my words and stuff in there first, making sure that I didn't have too many, but I didn't have too little. And then I found sound bites from Futurama and put those in there and applied them appropriately. There were slight edits to that, obviously. Most of the real editing, however, came with somewhat of the equalization of the sound. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's about as good as it's going to get without, spending 4 hours being an anal retentive ass. So, hopefully, you people like it. I find it to be enjoyable. And I've already got ideas for more intros. I'm probably going to have maybe about 4 or 5 intros, and I've even got concepts for exits and stuff. I think my next intro is totally going to kick ass. I've already got some ideas working around, and I think it's going to be fun. Damn it, I totally burped right before I hit the record button. I was like, shit, oh well. That'd have been great. Just, hey, he's burping. That's obnoxious. And it's a water burp, so you don't get those back very often. I'm going to go ahead and respond to the sort of unknown, obscure trip fiend here. Damn it, I did it again. Oh well. Implying we don't leave our computers on scrabbling obscure shit as we sleep. Well, who the hell does that? Oh wait, I've done that. That's what I did when I first started on Last FM. I just played Gaga like crazy. Actually, I threw up my the MP3 player, the Windows Media Player, and because it has it to where you can speed up the music, it's like to 1.5 times speed. And on top of that, I also have both of her albums in 2x speed. So all of her songs, also I've had her songs in normal speed, of course, I'm not stupid. Well, maybe I am stupid. I don't know. We'll figure that out one of these days. But I have both of her albums in normal speed. I have both of her albums in double speed. And I have some unreleased songs and whatnot. So I just threw all of her songs up that I had, put it on random, put it on, multiply it by 1.5 speed, and then went to bed, and then went to work, and then went to bed and worked for almost a week in doing that. And so I was pretty much just scrobbling a crap ton of gaga for about 5 days. And, you know, when a song is normally at its normal speed, obviously, you know, just scratch that stupid comment. When a song or any other soundbite is played at double speed, and then that new production of that particular speed is then played at yet again 1.5 times that speed, you now have a little math involved, and it ends up being 3 times its original speed. Not really difficult to ascertain. So you got a song like Telephone that's double speed, and it's one of the shortest songs she has. It's like 3 minutes 41 seconds or something. And we're dropping it down to just about a minute and 10 seconds. A minute 13 or so, 12, whatever. Minute 13-ish. And that song already moves pretty quickly. So you just gotta wonder, how fast is that? Well, no, I'm not gonna post that. That would be obnoxious. As for everybody else, I don't know what you're doing. Dad Alice Glass, I'm actually surprised. I thought you were being sarcastic when you first popped in here. And if you are in fact being honest, well, thank you very much. A Bradix? Or something about dicks? You know, it's funny that your name is that, and I initially said that because one of these days, very soon, I will be paying homage to you. I'm going to let you think about that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask this. I already know what I'm going to do. Maybe I already answered the question at this point, but whatever. Should I be drinking now? Because maybe, just maybe, it might be entertaining enough for others to listen. And then perhaps I'll have an actual audience. Not that I don't mind you, Aberdix. I enjoy the company. But this being show number 4, with pretty much nothing to show for it, I think really the only issue is the time frame. Perhaps, I don't know. I had considered doing it on the weekends, but I had other shit I needed to do. Apparently is what I just said. Whatever. And I can't think of anything to talk about, which is weird. I usually have something in my brain. Maybe it's the ADD meds. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't drink, though. Because perhaps the combination of the two would fuck me up. Long, awkward silence. Uh-oh. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do when it come for you, dumbass, dumbass? Well, who's the dumbass? You know, your first soundbite, I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to strangle you. Seriously, I needed to just say, oh God, stop. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I found it somewhat irritating. I don't find you irritating. This most recent one, perhaps it was because you were less exuberant, less goofy, if you will. It made it, well, the way you presented yourself, the way you presented your ideas and so forth, I like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. So, I'm glad you enjoyed my intro. I enjoyed my intro. I've been listening to the damn thing all fucking day. I put it on my cell phone. I put it on my PSP. I actually made a new email account just so I could save all this shit. So I can hear it again if I wanted to. And... oh, that was pathetic. Damn it, stupid water. I'd drink other things right now, but I just can't. These fucking ADD meds are actually causing me to sweat a lot. So I've got to hydrate like crazy. But that's one mild annoyance versus all the benefits. I think they're more or less waning at this point. I took them at 5 p.m.-ish Central Daylight Time. I'm glad you liked the discussion. I'm glad you liked the concept. The concept was... it was plucked out of nowhere, pretty much. I don't remember... I don't even actually know if I had actually explained this or not. I may not have to, but I might as well now, because, hell, there's only one person talking to me, and essentially, we could be doing this on, like, Skype or something, but I don't have any of that shit, and I like the whole radio concept at the moment. If I had callers calling in, that'd be great. But, as for the concept of the discussion, the origin of it all was Teeth himself. He was having a hard time pronouncing some the French lyrics in Bad Romance, so I recorded myself. He hears me and he's like, "Holy shit, you've got an awesome voice." And I said, "Well, you're full of shit, because my voice is obnoxious and it sounds like crap." He says, "No, that's the good part. You sound like the obnoxious shock jock radio DJ." And I thought, oh, that makes perfect fucking sense. I could do that. And then it just kind of spawned off, and I started just bullshitting in that first episode. I suggest downloading it just for the hell of it. And then if you say, "Hey, you should download this shit. This guy's really weird. And we really like really weird people in this world because they're better than normal people." At least I think so. Let's see. I typed out potential responses or just sections of how to do things. That was my first. It was fun as hell. I really like the editing process, as long as what I'm doing... well, actually, I don't know if you would really consider it my first. I mean, that's the first, if you will, sort of unique creation of mine. Obviously using other people's creations in the process. And when I say unique, it was compiled, well, shit. Okay, I've got a YouTube page where basically I just took Lady Gaga songs and sped them all up and posted them. Took a couple of videos, slowed them down, sped those up, posted them. My telephone video seems to be kicking ass, and unfortunately, anybody who listens to this might actually find out who I am because of that. Let's hope not. But if that wouldn't be considered my first venture into music, and this would essentially be as such, then yeah, I guess. But I guess it depends on how you consider first and what the venture in music is. So maybe that's up for interpretation. Unfortunately, it wasn't my music, and I'm pretty certain I will never actually create my own music. I am creative. I think we all are in some way or another. But I'm not that kind of creative. You know, I was at work, and I'm thinking all this shit, but none of it's not based on original material. I'm not creating original material in this sense. I'm using other people's material to sort of spawn, if you will, a bastard child that could be conceptually considered original, I guess. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing, but I don't think I am. But as I said, it was fun. I wish I could change my time frame because, well, one, personally speaking, when you get off at 11:30 p.m., and it takes you almost 30 minutes to get home, there's pretty much no option for a nightlife. And plus, I don't really get paid enough to have a nightlife. I can't go to the bars that often. I wish I knew where I could find a better audience for this time of night. Because, unfortunately, midnight really kind of sucks. You know, there's... what is his name? Temporary unknown... Formerly unknown, something. I don't remember. Formerly known, unknown, I think. Well, he's got a new name now, new moniker. I think it's Bjork's Stalker or something. He lives in England. And right about now, it's almost 8 a.m. there. So who the hell knows what he's doing? But he's never here during the weekdays. So could be having a job or something, or maybe they have lengthy school years or something shit, I don't know. If I knew where I could do this with perhaps not such a young, immature, jackass audience, present company not necessarily included, if I could do it, more people, that would be awesome. And the weird thing is in recent days, not because of this, but almost simultaneously, I have decided that I want to move to New York City. And this whole Totko radio thing has sort of exploded in my head. And I'm almost certain I'm not going to stop. Fucking dosing beer with LSD. That's not right. But, you know, okay, I'll answer both of you because you're both commenting on this. In regards to Eminem, he's pretty much the only rapper I care for. And I'm a white dude, so maybe that makes a shitload of sense. Maybe not. Maybe race has nothing to fucking do with it. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I grew up in a suburban area and I still pretty much live in the same damn place. You know, I live about 10 miles from Dallas. And I've rarely ever spent any time there in my life. And I live, you know, and let's go ahead and clear some... There we go. That was nice. Let's clear up a few potential misconceptions. Even though I live in Texas, and I live in Dallas, and it ain't full of fucking crazy bumpkin hicks. There are plenty of them here, mind you. But it's mostly just filled with shitheads who think they're better than everybody else for whatever reason. You know, I've talked to people who live in New York and LA and other, hell, in Austin or in Chicago or in Florida. It seems as though Dallas is by far the pickiest when it comes to people who they will be around. When you go to the bar and you're having a conversation with a chick and you're getting along pretty well, and then she starts popping off about what kind of job, what kind of car you have, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Relationships ain't about fucking money. Now, understand that money has a place. That ain't how relationships work. Anyway, getting back to... That was my little digression of a rant. Getting back to Eminem. I have not heard most of his stuff. I've heard the majority of what is on YouTube or had played on MTV. I listened to Role Model earlier today, and that shit was awesome. I don't remember what album that's from. I will look it up, so don't have to answer me. Model lyrics. Role Model. Yes, I do. Oh, it's off the Slim Shady LP. Okay. Guess that makes sense. Because that was a lot of his crazy, goofy shit. Now, I really don't understand the concept of the bubblegum pop. It really doesn't make sense to me, because after listening to it, I mean, I'm listening to Lady Gaga. Both of her albums. Now, for the most part, it's not total bubblegum pop. Her first album most definitely is. you know, each one of those songs has their own little merits, and they rarely ever mean anything with each other. And to be honest, it seems like there's a bit much of the elitism of the album here in this community. Because, and I don't get it. It shouldn't matter if the whole album works or not, personally. If it does, kudos to the artist. If it doesn't, why can't each song, in of itself, have its own merits and flaws, and be considered its own work of art? This concept apparently eludes the majority of the community. See what I did there? As I said, I haven't heard most of his stuff. I really can't see how it would be considered bubblegum. Maybe in comparison to other artists, or in comparison to his other work. But that's really only... We might as well just clear this up right now, and at least for this thread. What my opinion is doesn't matter to you. What your opinion is doesn't matter to me. As long as we enjoy whatever it is we enjoy. If you don't like Eminem's new album, that's cool. I don't have any judgments, personally. I find it weird when people do. It's kind of retarded. Oh shit, he said retarded. Well, it is retarded. When people judge you for your tastes. You know, I don't like coffee-flavored ice cream. Some people do. I don't think they have shit taste, in a literal or figurative sense, either. I think, yes, it's a little weird, and I might respond, dude, you're fucking crazy. Well, how can you like that stuff? You know, some people don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream. Actually, let's put it into an interesting perspective. I love Rocky Road ice cream. A buddy of mine loves Rocky Road ice cream. However, there seems to be one key difference, and neither one of us will bend on this. He only likes Rocky Road ice cream that has the marshmallow cream in it, whereas I don't, and I like it when it has real marshmallows in it. Why? My taste buds tell me so. That's it. And that's the way I see music. Music's like fucking ice cream. Music is ice cream. Alright? You're gonna go to the goddamn ice cream store or the ice cream parlor, or you're gonna go to the grocery store, whatever you want to, you know, sort of create an analog in comparison to those in regards to the music. You can go to the music store, or you can go to the whatever, the interwebs, and buy your flavor of music. And you know what? For the most part, you're the only one who's gonna eat it. Now, you might try to share it with other people, and they may not like it, but that just means it's more for you! Right? Enjoy your ice cream! Who gives a shit if other people aren't sticking their tongues in it? And you can quote me on that. Oh, Teeth! Welcome to the fucking party! I had to quote myself on some level. I don't know what the hell you're trying to do to me, Mr. Anon. I don't know if you're... Well, that wasn't bad. But that is ICP. So it was a good reproduction of something that I consider generally to be something, oh, well, what is the word? Undesirable. I actually find that video and the song in of itself extraordinarily ironic, but I don't know how to really explain myself. I think tomorrow, when I'm full-blown on my drugs, amphetamines are, you know what, Mr. Mackey? Drugs are good, okay? As long as you use them properly. Don't abuse drugs. I'm using Adderall extended release. I didn't even say relief. It was more like really, stutter. What the hell? You know, now that I have more people, this is kind of nice. I hope too many people don't use the Vocaroo, because, and I'm only asking this for the most part. I'm not telling you, because it can kind of distract me a little bit from doing some of that. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to download the song, not the songs, these sound bites. I'm trying to obviously respond. I'm also saving the actual links themselves in a WordPad document. I'm trying to compile all this stuff up at the same time. And being the only person doing this, I don't have like a team member who's doing this for me. So I gotta try to work all this stuff together, and I'm not really good at that. So I'm only asking. I'm not telling. As a favor to me, just try to keep it on the down low when it comes to the vocal responses. That way, I don't fuck this whole thing up and then delete the thread, because that's what's going to happen otherwise. It's not a threat, don't worry. I'm not being mean. I'm only asking. I know sometimes I can sound condescending, most of the time, really. I'm glad you woke up, Teeth. Unfortunately, you're not going to hear this one for a while, as is the case in almost all of my threads. Actually, you know, I'm looking back on this now, and the only thread I know of that you were there for in the... Well, actually, the first two threads you were there for... Was it? Yeah, it was the first two shows. I need to stop calling it a show, or a thread. I need to start calling it a show. I need to stop calling it a thread. And I need to stop rambling. Wait, no, that's the reason why people like this in the first damn place. I'm still going to try to keep it under 5, even though I haven't actually been timing myself at all. I know one of them's like 7 minutes long. Anyway. I think Teeth was only in the first two in their early stages. The last one, jackass, did that Mario Kart shit. Now, granted, I didn't inform you. Today I informed you. So, I don't know what your problem is. Yes, I'm mad. Trip fiend motherfucker. Alright, let's see what you people have to say now. You know, it's weird. Apparently, burping is now my personal cue to click the record button. Because when I burp, I'm like, oh shit. I'm going to record, but I didn't get to record my burp. Maybe it's just because I didn't record the burp, and now I want to, and then it lets me, and then I have nothing to fucking say at this point. I mean, I'm sure I do. I just don't know what it is. Maybe somebody else does. Drugs are fun, okay? I'm just... You know what? I think right now, we don't really have to go... You know what, right now, I know this isn't B, and I don't give a shit. Because there's so few people listening to me, and because there's very little music actually being discussed, perhaps that's why there are so few people, I don't know. Hopefully the intro is supposed to help people come in. It's not even fantastic. It's good. It's fun. But it's not fantastic. I probably never will make something fantastic. Because it won't have been created from its conception through its zygote birth, if you will. You know, I will not have created the initial pieces of this thing. Granted, we don't create our own sperm and ova either. You know, those are just sort of done by biology. We don't do it. Nevertheless, I will always, at least for as much as I think anyway, that was not really a coherent sentence, by the way. I'm pretty much, unless otherwise considered by me or other people, I will be creating whatever I create sonically speaking, with other people's creations. I will be compiling their works together to make my own, because I'm not that original. Now maybe the concept's not even original. Perhaps the product is original, but that doesn't mean shit. Unless, of course, somebody's like, dude, you have great talent for mixing weird shit together. You should do that. But I don't know if I want to. I like doing it now as more of a hobby. Although the weird thing is I mentioned the New York thing, and I want to move to New York. As I said, this kind of happened almost simultaneously. I feel like for about the last month, I've sort of been missing a certain experience. It's a sensation more than anything else. There's no way to explain it that I can think of. Crap, I was scrobbling stuff. I hope that doesn't actually count. I bet it does, though. Oh, good. I guess it didn't count. We'll look back on it again. New York. Somehow I feel like I'm being called there. And I have a feeling I'm going to go there. And when I was talking about this whole Totko thing, this Totko radio, I've got an email account. I think I actually typed this, didn't I? I don't know. Maybe I was doing it and then I deleted it. I've got it. I created an email account. I created a Facebook account, a Twitter account, a YouTube account. And essentially I'm going to use my Last FM as sort of one of the connectors to all that. And then I'm probably going to make like a Facebook group or some bullshit. I've already got an idea for a logo. I wonder if anybody can guess what it might be. Now, even if you guess, you won't be completely right. You only get part of it right. Because I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not going to let you know if you're right or not. And you're not in my head either, so you don't know. But when I was at work today and I was thinking about all this shit, I was vividly planning my future as if I were going to be a talk show radio host. So if that, in fact, does happen, you can bet your fucking ass there will be 3 sources of thanks for it. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, I don't mind. But if it does, Christopher Mootpool for having created 4chan, obviously, because that's where the idea had been able to blossom. But the reason why it had even had a chance to blossom was because of Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga sort of maneuvered me, myself of course doing the maneuvering, she just happened to be an influence, to Moo, where, now granted I had been lurking for a while, but Lady Gaga caused me to pretty much stick around and then come up with the trip codes, trip names. And then of course, for teeth. Because without teeth, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Now, we're not talking about actual teeth in my brain, in my head, skull, whatever. We're talking about the 4chan trip fiend named Lady Gaga's teeth. Because without him saying anything about my voice, that first thread would have never happened, and I would have never had the idea to do what I'm doing right now. But I can't thank you yet, because I'm not famous. So right now you can fuck off, teeth. Yeah, no, I don't hate you. Okay, I'm gonna sort of detract a little bit back towards Eminem a little. I think maybe somehow I got the inspiration from Dad Alice Glass with the drugs and shit. Perhaps. I really don't know. something reminded me of when he said, I don't know the lyrics specifically, and I'm not going to look them up, I'm not going to listen to the song, but it said something about making a comeback that's a nut on your spine. When I first heard that, I didn't know what I heard. I had to look up the lyrics. I read it, and I'm like, holy, what? That's awesome! You know, I think that's the reason why I like him, is because he is a completely vulgar ass. And I like the sound. Now, granted, I like, to some degree, bubblegum pop. I like fucking Lady Gaga. So, obviously, I like something in that region. Whatever. I like TikTok. I mentioned this in the first thread. Show! First fucking show. If I say it out loud and I record it, at some point in time I'm going to hear it, and it's going to sort of re-establish it in my brain. I will definitely... There's a guy up at work I was talking to about the new Eminem record, and he was like, dude, I know it's leaked and everything, but I really don't want to listen to it. I'm just going to wait for the day to come out. And we really didn't have much time to talk, because shit happens like that. You know, we probably only talked for like a minute and a half. He has to leave usually pretty early, because he drives pretty far to get home. And initially, like my immediate response to him in my brain was like, well, why? I mean, wouldn't you want to hear the songs? And I saw his body language, and it changed. Now, I don't really know how to explain it. He just seemed a little reserved, a little lacking enthusiasm in that whole department. And then I realized that I myself am the same way. But not necessarily with Eminem. Because Eminem isn't essentially one of my favorite, or my favorite artist. But thinking back, when there was all the hype that potentially Gaga's new album was going to come out, and then I saw on YouTube all these unreleased songs that I'd never heard of, I was like, oh shit, I don't want to hear those. And bam, it clicked. It made perfect fucking sense. I don't want to hear her stuff until it comes out either. I can empathize with him now that I understand it. It makes sense. I don't care why or how I have the opportunity to hear it. I don't want to. I don't even know how to explain why or how that process works. And maybe I don't need to. Maybe people understand this. I'm going to refresh real quick, see if there's anybody to say anything at all. Surprise! Oh shit, somebody's talking to me. We'll see what happens. Maybe. I know my response to that Anon sending me that Buckaroo piece was asshole-ish. But I'll tell you something. I thought my ears were going to fucking bleed. And I am an asshole. So who the fuck cares? I just had to go pee. I'm waiting for some reaction images on that one. I still remember the first day. Those two fucking reactions. It was only 2 images, and that's all I needed to laugh my ass off. And mostly because I find myself humorous. So really all I needed was validation, I suppose. But while I was standing there, producing a stream of semi-clear, semi-yellowish liquid into a semi-clean porcelain basin, I was thinking about my friend. Now how the fuck do those two things come into play? Well, I have a buddy of mine who, well, we all have some sort of buddy of our own possessions, right? A buddy of mine and I were talking earlier today via text, and it happened upon that I was talking about the show and my little intro and stuff. I was really fucking proud of my intro. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. And I wanted to make it better, and I tried to, and it didn't work. And that's what you didn't get. You almost got something else. It didn't vary by much, though. Sonically speaking, the quality is different and it's better too. The sounds of everybody it kind of meshes better than the initial version of it. The newest version, I think, it has better equality when it comes to the volumes and whatnot. I was gonna put Britney Spears' the very end of Toxic at one point, but I couldn't figure out where to put it. I placed it everywhere, and I thought, it doesn't work. I wanted it at the end somewhere, but it just didn't work. So I said, fuck it, whatever. And it worked out to be pretty damn good. But anyway, getting back to my friend. We were talking. He's kind of not totally social. He is social in a sense, but he's pretty insecure. But I was talking to him, and I said, I think one of these days, especially if this thing kind of persists, it doesn't have to kick off at all, but if it persists for a while, I want you to join me in one of my shows. Now, we're going to need some sort of like microphone splitter or some shit, and I don't even know if my computer can handle something like that. And he laughed at the concept, and I said, I'm serious. Because he's goofy as hell. He would be somewhat of a foil to me. I mean, I'm weird and strange and goofy too, but he's like silly goofy. Unfortunately, we would have to figure out how exactly to get him to speak properly because he's fucking loud. He's got an incredible timbre in his voice. When he whispers, you can hear him from across the room. We're talking about a big room like a classroom and stuff. I've known him for a good decade plus. And I don't see him as often as I'd like. And if we did that, I think we'd be able to see each other a little more frequently. And I think he would have another personality, if you will, obviously, to add to this. And I think that would make it better. I didn't actually suggest him showing up today. For that purpose, I said he should come up here and check me out while I'm, to observe for the most part. And he would also be another person I could converse with and perhaps, seek additional insight into the questions that you guys are giving me. So I'm still going to try to get him one way or another. Even if it's just for observation and, potential influx of information. So, it's funny. I think this is the first time this has ever happened. I have an opinion that I think other people should hear. Let's just listen to my intro again for like the billionth minus about a billion minus 1,000. So about 1,000th time. No, it's not even that much. It's maybe I probably haven't even heard it 100 times in the last 24 hours. Actually, this intro I fixed and made before the show about 15 minutes prior. So I've only heard this version maybe about 10 times. The other version I heard that all damn day, and I liked it, but I like this one better. I realize now why, whether it's Eminem or Gaga or Mariah Carey or Nutrimilk Hotel, I don't care who they are when it comes to an artist, why they would want to outdo themselves. Because the prospects of it make it that much more entertaining. Listening to this, I realized that that intro in of itself is actually kind of subjective. You could hear it, and you can imagine whatever the hell you want. It talks about the Illuminati thing, and you can't be serious. That's not funny. But maybe that's not really the subjective part. Maybe it's the entirety, or maybe it's a tiny piece, or maybe that piece is, in fact, somewhat relative. Because what have you seen? What have you heard? You've heard the intro to Poker Face. And a good portion of, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I think it's like Otsegulation or something by Static X. I'll give you one possible concept of just that little piece. When Fry says, "My God, he's become evil." I mean, eviler. And then I respond by saying, "He's part of the Illuminati." And then Zoidberg then finishes off with, "You can't be serious. That's not funny." Well, perhaps Fry was actually mentioning the musical choices within it. Most people on Moo don't like Lady Gaga. And then it goes into metal, which a whole shitload of people apparently really don't like. So I went from being evil to guess. And maybe because I'm now part of the, I guess, musical community, because I'm making quote-unquote my own music, I am now part of I'm an Illuminati puppet. Who the hell knows? Maybe that's just one way of looking at it. Actually, it is one way of looking at it. Maybe there are about 1 billion more. Now, put that in your pipe and stick it up your ass. Well, I hope I inspire somebody. I know somebody's inspired me, and hopefully I have fans. I know I'm someone's fan. Yeah, I think this is going to be my last one for the night. I'm pretty much just out of it, and because I'm not drunk, I'm not just babbling on about just whatever because I'm drunk. I'm sure if Teeth has actually heard any of mine, any of those that I posted earlier, or anybody else who has posted, anybody else who has heard those that were posted, I think it's the second one, maybe it's the third one, I don't remember. I just kind of ramble on for a little while, all sad and stupid, talking about Gaga. At least, this time around it's not, "Oh my God, he's so single-minded. He keeps talking about Gaga, Bart. Get your ass in here so I can choke you, you motherfucker." I don't have any outros because I only made that one intro. I already have ideas. I'm sure when I get my meds in my system tomorrow, I'll have better concept of what I've already started writing some shit down anyway for my intros. I'm probably only going to have about maybe 5 each, and I'll use them for the shows whenever I do my shows. I will choose whichever I want at the time that I want, whenever the hell I want. Unfortunately, I'm sure the URL might become obvious, so people are like, "Oh, it's going to be this one again." But I guess it just depends on how often and if nobody saves them or something. You save the file, don't save the URL. That's just pointless. I save the URL because I use it. Oh, as for the gain and whatnot, I don't really know. It depends on what kind of mic he has. My microphone sucks. I have no gain that I'm aware of. I mean, it does seem to have a volume control. Hold on, let me see something. I'm going to start talking really loud and stuff. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to talk. I'm messing with the button, or not the button, the little dial thingy. I don't know what's happening. I'll find out when I listen to this. At pretty much the same time you people listen to this, so we'll see what happens with that. No, I mean, this is a shitty mic as it is. I shouldn't be doing to the sound that I do. Plus, I don't have the little fuzzy thing on there because it, kind of deteriorated. So, yeah. I think I need a little bit of inspiration. So I'm gonna go jerk off. No, I'm kidding. God, you people take me fucking seriously, don't you? I mean, I know I'm so fucking influential. Yes, that's the word. I'm so influential that you motherfuckers actually take that word seriously. I am absolutely 100% positive about that. And if you can't tell that I'm being 100% serious, you're an idiot. But the reality is I'm not being serious. So, ladies, gentlemen, hermaphrodites, eunuchs, those with mutilated genitalia, I have one thing and one thing only to say. Quarters! No, wait, no, that's not right. This has been Totko Radio. Go fuck yourself, fuckface. Signing off, bitches.